I think one of the biggest things that, is a concern is not so much the COVID anymore, but how, with this great resignation, employers having to rush to fill positions, and with that comes the idea, does, training and safety still take the forefront, or are we rushing those things and having employees in positions where, they might not necessarily have, 100% of the safety and the training that they originally had or would have pre mass resignation from, positions. So, are we having more accidents because of this? And, what are going to be some of the ramifications from that? I think we're going to see some, here and there. I think I probably already have seen a couple of cases where, that has impacted, the claim, and, we're having claims result from those kinds of situations.
And I could see, and let me know if this is something that you've seen, like a rise in claims due to staffing shortages. So you have people doing the jobs of not just what they're supposed to be doing, but more individuals. So then you're kind of spread thin, and you might not follow all the procedures, and maybe you don't know the other job so well, so there's some like corners being cut, and I could see issues arising in that. Have you seen that come across?
I think that I have for sure. That hasn't come out in my conversation with a claimant, but just given the fact that they're rushing, and they don't have as many employees as they typically would have assisting them with jobs, you're going to have these injuries result, and that has been the case. So yes, I have seen that happen, with these claims that are coming in, a couple different ones, in fact. So I think that's really what is impacting claims the most at this point, from what's coming across my desk.
Yeah. Because I just, and I imagine even like with like the shift work type jobs that even, they're supposed to have breaks every so often. Or at certain increments, I could see some of that falling to the wayside, because they did some of the shift work stuff. You need people on the floor, and it's disrupting, production, and then that's slowing things down. And I just see a slippery slope. And I know you can't talk specifics about anything, but is it generally something you might be that you're seeing as a trend?
Yeah, I would say so. And, just tiredness of employees, of having them work, double shifts, to make up for, lack of manpower, and, things like that, are certainly, I think, coming up, and, they're going to impact things, as long as we have this job shortage and people, hopping positions. I think it's definitely just a natural progression of things, and I think you're definitely right. It's a slippery slope. How do we, mitigate these things? When there is such an issue with, employment shortage right now.
What sort of changes do you think it can be made on the employer front? Because sure, you can try to attract new employees, but there's no guarantee they're going to come. So,
Right. Right.
what can they do to try to, combat that? There's definitely shortage, but they have demands of trying to, get product or materials or anything out the door.
Right.
It's like a clamp on both sides almost.
Yeah, it is. I really don't know the answer to that question. We have, and it's in every industry too. I mean, you're talking manufacturing, housing, and like, food, fast food restaurants, hotel, hospitality, it's everywhere. So I don't know, like there's only so many, sign on bonuses and promises you can make. I think it's just, is somebody going to be happy doing that job long term? And I don't know how you, as an employer, combat that. I bet a lot of people would like to know the answer to that question, because they would be putting it into full force. But yeah, I don't know.